What really goes inside the mind of a student preparing for JEE entrance examination? On the outside, it might look very simple: books, formulas, and coaching classes. But if you see inside, there is a storm. Storm of thoughts like, if I don't clear JEE, my life is ruined. I have to study 14 to 18 hours a day and I don't deserve a break. Every student and every classmate of mine is doing better than me. They are scoring better marks than me. And lastly, if I don't clear JEE, I will disappoint my parents. These thoughts are self-sabotaging and induces stress in their mind. If you are also one of the aspirants of JEE, let's try to understand what goes into your mind and how can you remove those thoughts in today's video.
My name is Anmol. I'm a mental health practitioner, counselor, psychologist, career coach, and life skills trainer. I'm here to share my insights and learnings with you to tackle life challenges and attain your highest potential. Let's create balance in your life.
Hi everyone, I hope all of you are doing great. Welcome to my channel Ask Life with Anmol, where we try to create balance in your life and understand some psychological principles. The topic that we have chosen today is specifically for JEE aspirants, students who are preparing for JEE entrance examination and want to pursue B.Tech after that. Let's try to understand why are we making this video. The current suicide rate, if I compare in Kota, which is the factory of these coaching institutes for JEE aspirants, was 26 student suicides in 2023. It was 17 student suicide in 2024, and till now in 2025, 9 students have already done suicide. But why this pressure is being created on these students? What is the psyche of these students? Let's try to understand in a step-by-step manner. Let's understand the thoughts a student goes through if they are preparing for JEE examination. Let's start with the schooling system. So in India, if you see, you have a different examination which is more objective type. A person has to go through board examination in their +2 level, which is more subjective in nature. So there is a discrepancy in the curriculum. And people face this issue whether I should focus on the board examination or whether I should focus on the entrance examination, right? So let's understand the daily thoughts of these students. Fear of failing, fear of disappointing their parents, fear of being left behind in the crowd chasing the same dream. Every low score feels like a personal failure. Every topper in the class is like a threat to them. Every break they feel is like a setback. They want to study for 14 to 18 hours a day without any break. And if they take any break, they feel guilty inside that why I'm taking this break. They don't sleep well. They don't really eat mindfully. They are competing sometimes, completely forgetting who they actually are. More thoughts after this are, am I good enough? What if I don't get into IITs? Will my life be a failure? Now let's understand some of the psychological concepts in the minds of a JEE aspirant. The first concept is self-esteem. And there are two types of self-esteem involved in the whole process. One is students' self-esteem. Now self-esteem, according to psychology, is my understanding of myself. How do I feel about myself? Am I good enough? Am I worthy for this particular award or not? Am I worthy for this seat or not? So that is self-esteem. Some people have positive self-esteem and they are more secure. Some people have negative self-esteem. But people who are preparing for this entrance examination of JEE, let's understand their self-esteem and how that is created. So they've always, because it is a competitive examination, they have this thought, am I good enough to go into this particular entrance examination? Will I fail or not? Their self-worth and self-esteem is garnered by the marks they are getting in these coaching classes, in their test. If they get good marks, they feel high. Their self-esteem increases. But as soon as they score low, their self-esteem drowns. They don't feel happy about it, right? So if you see, many students start associating their self-esteem to rank, scores, right? Which is very hypothetical, which is external in nature, where they only feel valuable if they succeed academically. They neglect their other areas of life. Only entrance examination become the main focus of their life, right? So they lose their self-identity in the whole process. For example, I might not be good in JEE main examination, but I would be a great singer. I can be a great artist. People forget that. Many people forget about their hobbies when they are pursuing this JEE entrance examination. I've seen a lot of students, they were great guitarists, their performances, they were doing theater, they were singing, they were dancing. They lost everything, and now they are having bouts of depression because they were not able to clear the JEE main examination, right? Second is parents' self-esteem. Let me share you a definition of conditional love. Conditional love is, if you do something for me, I will love you, right, in return. Same is the case with Indian parents. Indian parents want to enhance their self-esteem, how they feel about themselves, through children's self-esteem. They are telling them that I am spending this much amount of money for you, please become an engineer, right? Please get good marks. And if they're not able to get good marks, they don't love them. They treat them very indifferently. So children also feel that way, that their love is very conditional. Love is very transactional in nature. That also creates a lot of pressure in their mind. So you saw the self-esteem of not only the children is taking parts in this, the parents' self-esteem is also associated and creating stress in the mind of JEE aspirants. Now let's understand some of the psychological concepts specific to Indian culture. I hope you have all seen the movie of Three Idiots. That is an epic example of the comparison culture in India. If you see the dialogue between Farhan and his father, where he says that log kya kahenge, Sharma ji ka beta ye kar raha hai, right? So all these dialogues are related to comparison culture. Every parent today wants their child to compete with every other child in the school or at state level or at India level, right? They're always comparing their child. That again creates a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety in children. Then comes the concept of repeat attempts and emotional fatigue. The cycle of preparing for the examination, preparing for the mock examination, and if they are not succeeding, many teachers and their coaches tell them that you can drop here. I have seen in my experience a lot of people dropping 1 year, 2 years, 3 years for JEE examination, right? So what it means that it leads to eroding self-belief of the person, leaving students questioning their abilities and in future. According to a data in 2023, Indian students who were preparing for JEE examination, 67% reported lower self-esteem and 45% had chronic anxiety. So if you see, it is ingrained in the Indian culture. That is creating a lot of stress, the comparison culture and the fear of social judgment. Now, if you remember the scene again from Three Idiots, where there was a suicide case, and in that case, Amir Khan said that there's a lot of pressure in the head, right? It is like a pressure cooker. So that is called a pressure cooker effect. Why this pressure cooker effect is there? Let's try to understand with some statistics. So around 12.5 to 13.5 lakh students sit for JEE examination, and all over there are 54,000 seats in top engineering colleges. So if you see, 1 in 21 people get seats in this college. That is the case for JEE main examination. If I talk about JEE advanced, there are around 17,400 seats for 2.5 lakh students, which is accordingly 0.15% getting into IITs. So if you see why this pressure cooker is coming, right? And if you see the school structure also, every school has a topper, and the topper thinks that I can go into IIT, right? But when they go into the battleground where everyone is competing and the margin is only 0.15% getting into IIT, they have a pressure cooker effect, right? There is perfectionism involved in it. Students believe anything less than top rank equals failure, leading to chronic self-criticism. Now, this is a symptom of anxiety. Either we think in black and white, either we will go into top rank or IITs, or we will fail. Second is the fear of failure, that the fear isn't just personal, it's social. Many students carry the burden of their families' hopes and aspirations and community's judgment. So they fear a lot. That's what hampers their preparation for the examination. And as I told you, there is no middle ground. It's just like all or nothing in their mind. So what is happening here? There is performance anxiety, burnout, and low self-esteem again because of this pressure cooker effect in their mind. The next phenomena that a JEE aspirant goes through is emotional roller coaster ride. Let's understand their emotions. When a student prepares for the JEE examination, they are highly spirited, they have hope and motivation initially, right? They are shown these dreams of getting into IIT, getting 1 CR per annum package, right? So there's a lot of hope and motivation. It all starts with hope and motivation. Then comes anxiety and self-doubt after some time. As syllabus piles up, mock tests coming up, and the person does not get the acquired rank, right? They compare their peers at that moment. So that motivation gets constantly converted into self-doubt and anxiety. What happens after that? There is guilt and shame. Now students start taking breaks because they feel frustrated and stressed. Breaks or low energy days are like guilts for these students. I wasted my day, I am falling behind, which feeds into shame. I am not good enough. And lastly, these people get into the phase of loneliness. Many students focus only being alone and focusing on the studies sometimes and sacrificing their hobbies, social interactions, and friendship. This fuels emotional emptiness. So I have seen a lot of students, they don't talk to anyone, whether it is their parents, whether it is their friends. They get into this lonely phase. That leads to anxiety and more depression. And if you see the paradox here, the same people are given training of social skills and communication, which they lacked in these 2 to 3 years of preparation because they were not social with people, right? So that's the emotional roller coaster a JEE aspirant has to go through. The next psychological phenomenon that a JEE aspirant goes through is mental fatigue or mental overload. Why it is happening? The first reason is syllabus overload. So if you see the syllabus of JEE is huge. You have to cover physics, chemistry, mathematics, which people are covering in 2 years for their board examination. They have to prepare that, right? And it is very high level. So that leads to memory fatigue, making students feel that they have forgotten more things when they enter the examination hall. Then there is decision fatigue. They don't prioritize. If I know my strength is mathematics, I should focus on mathematics and score low or basic marks in physics and chemistry. Everybody is trying to get good marks in every subject without knowing what is their strength. That is known as decision fatigue. Right? Which books to follow or even when to take a break leads to mental exhaustion. Lastly, overthinking. Did I choose the right strategy to study? Did I choose the right subjects? What if I forget everything on the exam day? These are some of the overthinking which keeps coming. And I have seen most of the students, they have these night terrors where they are, dreaming about forgetting everything in the examination. They are waking up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. and they are having these bouts of sleep nightmares, right? So this overthinking leads to more stress level at night, and these recurring thoughts happen again and again. The next phenomena that these JEE aspirants goes through is sunk cost fallacy. Now in this case, students feel that they have given their 1 year, 2 year for the preparation, they should give one more try, right? And this structure, this thing creates a kind of loop, a trap. When they no longer enjoy studying the same subjects, they become emotionally detached from the subjects, but they still get into the fact, they still remain in that rat race because they have already put so much effort. So that's the sunk cost fallacy thing. Now, I hope you understood what a JEE aspirant has to go through, the negative psychological phenomena. Now, what they should do to help them combat with all these phenomena so they don't fall trap to depression, anxiety, and other psychological disorders. So let me share some strategies they can do before the examination, during the examination, and after the examination. So before the examination, first thing you should do is separate your self-esteem from the examination or the performance, right? These examinations are just a part of your knowledge. You might have seen many students, prepare some particular subjects very well, but the questions comes from a different subject, although from the same chapter. Then it is not assessing your full knowledge. So don't take it personally and separate your identity from the outcome of your results or the examination. Focus on the performance, not the perfection, right? Perfection is an enemy of execution. Many students I have seen focus too much on preparing, reading the theories, reading the chapter, and not focusing on the mock tests, right? So focus on both the parts, the theory as well as the mock test. Celebrate small wins when you cover a topic, when you get good marks, mastering a tough concept, or improving mock test score. Celebrate them. You can, have a chocolate, go to a small, street vendors to eat something you like, right? Third is, you should always practice self-compassion over self-criticism or negative self-talk, right? Talk to yourself the way you would support a friend. Instead of I am useless, say I am learning. And that's enough for today. I can hone my skills for tomorrow. So practice self-compassion every day and reduce this negative self-talk that you are doing. Next is limit comparison, right? So if see on social media, you talk to your friends, right? They're getting good marks. Just understand their identity. All of us are very different. All of us have very different intelligence level, right? That person who is scoring high might get a seat in IITs, and you being an average student might get a seat in an NIT, right? So never compare yourself with your fellow mates or anything you watch on social media. Go for a social media detox if you feel the feeds are coming in this way. So your journey is unique, that you need to understand, and everybody's journey is their own journey. So comparison should not be there. Next is create a balanced identity. You are more than these examinations, right? These examinations are just a part of your life. You are more than that. You are a friend. You are a son or a daughter. You are a creative person. You have some hobbies. So get some time out for doing these activities so that you can have some relaxation and rejuvenating time. If you attach your self-esteem too much with the examination, then it might decide your future and mood and emotions. But if you give some amount of identity to these examinations and some to your relationships and hobbies, then the emotional turmoil and stress will be low. So once you have done these practices which I mentioned before the examination, on the examination day, what you have to do is, first thing is positive visualization. You have to imagine on the examination day that you are writing your answers confidently. Every answer is coming confidently and you're answering it, right? All the concepts that you have gathered in your mind, you are recovering those thoughts or element and perfectly answering it, right? So that will give you more confidence. This is called a visualization technique to get success in your examination. Secondly, on the day of examination, if you're feeling anxious, so let me share a grounding technique with you which will reduce your anxiety. So this is called 5-4-3-2-1 technique. When you feel anxious during examination, so let's say you're sitting in examination hall, 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch. It can be your table, it can be paper, it can be your pen. 4 things you need to touch. 3 things you need to hear. It can be the sound of air conditioner, it can be the sound of your fan, it can be a sound of a vehicle outside your classroom. So listen to 3 things. Then 2 things you can smell. So it can be any smell that can be there at that point of time. And lastly, one thing you can taste. So you can drink water if you have some snacks with you in the examination that you can have. So this is called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique, which will keep you grounded, which will bring you back to your senses, right, when you are feeling anxious. So these 2 techniques, please do on your examination day to feel more relaxed when you are giving the examination. Now, what you have to do after the examination when you have got the results, if you have cleared the examination, that is good for you, right? You have got it through your hard work and perseverance. But don't take it on your ego. Don't boast yourself in that ego of clearing that examination, and respect your friends who haven't cleared the examination. And if you have failed, you did not get a chance to appear for JEE Advance and get any admissions to engineering colleges, you have to consider your negative circumstances. You have to reframe what went wrong, give a feedback to yourself, and it has to be authentic, right? You can also go for career counseling sessions if you think you need to change your streams, right? That's very critical. Try to understand many students who have dropped from JEE and have become very big in other fields of entertainment and commerce, right? So sometimes you just need a different perspective that you can do if you have not got the right results for the examination. And if you are in that sunk cost fallacy that you think that you have given your 2 years, now you want to give 1 more year to the preparation and give your whole heart and soul to it, then you should always have a plan B and C, right? So let's say you're preparing for JEE examination. You can also prepare for BBA entrance examinations because they require you to have just basic English and aptitude. So that will open doors for you in the commerce field. And if you can apply to other competitive examination also, let's say of law and other fields, then you can apply for those also, right? So have a plan A, B, C. If you are dropping an year, if you think you can give 1 more year for the preparation of JEE, what will creating multiple plans do? It will give you more motivation. It will not keep you always stressed, because most of the people think that this is my last chance, and every small doubt, every small loss, or people who are getting lower marks in their mock test, that might create a lot of stress level, right? So having a plan B or C helps you reduce the stress level, and you can have multiple options in your hand. What a JEE aspirant actually craves for is a validity beyond their academics, an identity beyond the JEE examination, unconditional love from parents where there are no foundations, there are no judgments, there are no comparisons. They can be vulnerable in front of their parents and friends. Permission to rest and fail without judgment. Emotional safety to express their fears. These are the things they actually crave for. If you are a JEE aspirant and having a lot of stress issues, we are giving some free helpline numbers. You can talk to these counselors which are provided by Government of India, right? And you can discuss about your issues and have a good mental health. In the end, I would just like to say you are beyond these examinations, and it is just a situation that you are going through. I would highly recommend you career counseling. You can go forward, look into our career counseling series, right? If you want to find out your way, you are trapped in this rat race of JEE examination and you are not in this particular race. You want to get out of the race. So I'll link down the description of these videos, right, for career counseling. So kindly go through them. I hope you understood the psychology, mindset and belief system of a JEE aspirant. Share this video with students who are preparing for JEE examination and the parents whose children are preparing for this examination. It can be an eye-opener for them. Like this video and comment down below if you want more such series. You want to go deep into the minds of people. Whether we should cover UPSC aspirant, comment down below UPSC aspirant, or let's say NEET aspirant, or any other individual you want to go in their mind and understand their psychology. Subscribe to my channel, Ask Life with Anmol, to create balance in your life. Keep growing.